welcome to this week's vlog. So last week's training didn't go at all to plan on the back of the fact that the weekend before I had a really nasty head cold. So I had 5 days where I was literally surgically attached to my hot water bottle. It felt so bad. So it was kind of one of those where, I don't know, how long do you leave your recovery from that? Because if you go back too soon, you just feel like you're gonna, I don't know, like your lungs are gonna collapse or something when you're swimming. And if you don't get back in soon enough, you just worry that all that hard work that you've done is just gonna go to miss. So I left it for 5 days before getting back into the pool, which meant that I missed on the Monday last week. I missed doing my long swim. And that's the one thing, it kind of sets me up for the beginning of the week on the Monday. So it was really like, you know, you just kind of like think, oh, well, I'm going to leave it and I'll see if I can do it later in the week. But I just didn't feel like it. So it took really till the Friday before I felt anything like. And I managed to do a longer swim set that I borrowed from somebody on Twitter. So I borrowed that and it was all right, actually. It was a good few thousand meters in the end. But I felt all right after, and then just swam once over the weekend because I knew that today I was going to be doing a long swim again, or like my first one in a fortnight. But it was whilst I was off, I would say recuperating, I think. Whilst I was off, I had a conversation with my coach, looking forward to the next sort of 3 months really, because realistically I'd like to get back in the lake in April. I'm really missing it now, and I think the weather's been like 10 and 11 degrees this week, which has been great, and it feels so much warmer. So I'm really keen to get back in the lake, but it's just a little bit too cold for me, and I think I'm not going to be able to do any great distance. It's just going to be getting in and having a little sort of couple of 100 meters and getting back out again. So I'd rather wait till I can do a bit further, but I'm really desperate to get back in. I'm fed up of the pool, and it's just chlorine all the time. It's horrible, isn't it? But needs must, and I have to do it. So it's not a problem. It's just not my preferred place to swim. So whilst I was off, coach instructed me sort of to not go back too soon, and we were chatting about over what we're going to do over the next few months in terms of getting those longer distances in that I'm going to really need to start thinking about now. And that's when he dropped the bomb on me that he's booked me in to do a 7-hour swim. So he just sort of dropped it in. You know, there's nothing better isn't that happy news when you're sort of you're reaching for the Benylin and you're just desperate, you know, between each you know, living for every 4 hours when you could take some more paracetamol to be dropped that bomb. So he said that so we've sort of been discussing like when the lake's going to be open again and how long for, because when I get doing the longer swims, I'm going to need to be, you know, in the water for sort of 3 or 4 hours, maybe 5 hours even. So that's when he dropped it in and said that there was a specific swim, and he's just basically booked me in to do it, which is great, I think. But I don't feel ready to do that. I kind of led the swim now and I'm getting already a bit panicky. So he's done that. So it's great, and it certainly gives me something to focus on, and it means that I can just sort of start thinking about my feeding and how I'm going to do that during that time, and also turning my arms for that length of time is going to be it's going to be challenging, I think, but good, and it's something, like I said, something to look forward to. So there's that. So and also looking at then getting my distances up in the pool again, sort of starting from next week really. So I think whilst it's now like 11:40 on a Monday morning, I think next week I'm probably still going to be in the pool swimming at that time. But it's all good and it's all headed in the right direction. So yeah, just trying not to get ill again, because it was horrible, and it's worse like mentally, I think, thinking about not being able to swim when you've got a plan that you're sticking to diligently, and to not be able to do it just because you don't feel well enough. And then, like I said, that how long do you leave it before you get back in so that you feel all right again, without it being too long that you feel like it's detrimental to any training you've done. Anyway, back in the pool now. Had a good long swim today. Feeling great. The last mile though, I have to say, the first few miles were great, and it was on time, and I was using my Finnis to keep it a tempo so that I was keeping to a certain pace. And then I stopped to just have something to eat. And the last mile, I've got no recollection of it. I didn't stick to my Finnis. I could hear it beeping, but it was never on any of the ends of the pool, which it was meant to. So my last mile time was terrible, but funnily enough, that last mile was more relaxed than the other miles that I'd done. So it's quite interesting to sort of say that my pace was off, but it was more relaxing. Anyway, the distance is done, and I'm now literally I've basically got out and I've eaten nothing but cake since I've been out, which is great really, but maybe I should stop, because you can't go endlessly eating cake, can you, once you're done? Anyway, so that's this time's vlog, and hopefully I'll see you in a couple of weeks or so with more news and an update. Bye.